I saw people doing things and making things that I'd never seen before. It's got to be something that has a deeper concept that changes how we think about art. Good art is something that expands your idea of what art could be. Great art is something that expands everybody's idea of what art could be. This is what computers looked like when I started. And these were the tools and everything that were super influential. Most of it is noise, and to be quite honest, most of it is bad ideas. There's a few good ideas in there, but there's a lot of bad ideas. This is fucking sweet. Oh my God, that is awesome. How long did this take?
The idea of creating something that no one had ever seen before was part of his motivation, that he would play with different cultural ideas and inspirations to really make something unique. That's something that I've been trying to do with my Illuminated series, trying to showcase in a very unique, different way, something familiar, the work of Beeple, but really bringing it into light and bringing together as many of the 5,000 images as possible.
It's such a sweet juxtaposition of all these different images from all these different timelines, because when you look through the book, you could only look at, one piece at a time. Versus from here, you can see all of the different pieces at once. Is super cool and such a amazing way to view the book.
In your book, you said something really fascinating that relates to that. You say to stick around, you have to do something new, to have a new aesthetic, a new style, and that was very influential to me. When I was studying these great artists, there were really three things that came up. It was one, they had a creative crew that they ran ideas off of or sometimes stole ideas off from. Secondly, they saw the world in a new way. They had a new style, a new ism. And thirdly, they were met with a lot of pushback, a lot of critique when they did launch this new style because people didn't understand it, didn't fully comprehend. So I'm curious if any of that relates to you.
100%. I think that makes sense because I saw people doing things and making things that I'd never seen before. And I truly believe that is what you have to do to last 20, 30, 50, 100, 200, 400 years. You have to do something that nobody has seen before. And that's where the pushback just mathematically comes in, because again, you're changing people's ideas of what art could be. Anytime you do that, by definition, there has to be people no, this isn't what art is. And then it slowly expands their idea of what art could be just a little bit. And I think to make things that do that, it's very hard. I could make a new aesthetic in 3 seconds. You're, okay, here's the thing. I'm the person who takes these camera tripods and arranges them a certain way and blah, blah, blah. And then you photograph it from the top and it spells out something. You've never seen that before. But who gives a fuck? It's gotta be something that has a deeper concept that changes how we think about art. And so that's what I'm trying to do, is make something that fundamentally changes the way you think about art, not just on sort of a surface level of oh, I've never seen that.
That very much resonates with me, especially with the book idea, because I got a lot of pushback from cutting up these really valuable, rare books. And to me, it's almost similar to, as we're seeing all your beautiful images around, it's you get to see them all in a single snapshot. You're seeing this book that was signed by one of the greatest artists of all time, and it's hidden away. And if you want to see all these pieces together, you have to go to a museum. And so to see them all together, where that person actually signed, I call it this cross-generational collaboration, really excited me that I'd never seen anything like it before, that it got called a new art category by an executive at Christie's, and that it just kind of pushed the envelope. I'm curious, have you ever seen anything like it or in that style?
No, I've not. I think it is a super interesting idea, and I think the idea of taking and continuing a dialogue, your intention is to honor and respect the work and use it to say something new, but also in the context of that artist. And so to me, I think that is a new, interesting idea that I think really speaks to, again, this sort of like time that we live in. I think there are a lot of interesting, different ways that that can happen. But yeah, I can see why people like push back, because again, they think, oh my God, the beautiful object was made by the precious artist blessed from heaven with angels in his ears. How dare we like touch it or like, you know, alter it in any way? And I don't believe that is necessarily how things will be viewed in the future. I think our ideas around intellectual property will continue to change and evolve. And so that's what I think is super interesting around this.
You touched on it a little bit, but how would you define success?
That is a great question. Most of the markers of success are very superficial and not actually fulfilling in any way. True success on a deeper level is doing the work that you know you were meant to do and only you can do.